Welcome back to the show. Let's talk to Alessio Rastani. He is a founder and CEO of leadingtrader.com. Very good morning to you, Alessio.
Thanks very much.
Let's talk about cable. You've sent a chart of the great British pound. I use the term very loosely. What are you thinking here this morning?
So what I thought I would do is show the British pound since it peaked back in a couple of years ago now. We can see the Brexit vote right in the middle of that chart. And according to this chart that I'm showing you here, there's a probability that we've completed wave 4. So what's happened is, just if you take a look at the right-hand side, it seems the British pound, the rally we had since, well, I think that was February, March, started in March. So the rally we had, the little bounce we had, has hit a resistance, that trend line, a purple line we've drawn there. The resistance was at 130, 131 level there. And again, we don't know for sure that resistance is going to hold. We don't know if it's going to, now turn around and fall, but there is a strong probability it could. If that is wave 4, if this wave count is correct, and I'm not saying it is, but there's a potential this wave count says to us that we've completed wave 4, which for folks who may not be aware is a correction in the...
Most importantly, wave 5 sends the market lower.
Thanks very much, Nick. Yes. So if that's correct, that means wave 5 potentially could start, and we could see a move down to 125, or indeed 120. For folks who are very bearish on the pound.
It's quite interesting because I've spoken to a number of macro people this week, and they're all saying that cable's going one way, i.e. up to 140.
Really?
And you're suggesting that the technicals here, if we're going into this 5th wave, you reckon it's going to go lower?
Well, again, I mean, I would have to say, what are the reasons why those experts would say that the pound is going to 140? But there's also something I do know, which is that we found that when everybody seems to shift their view towards one direction,
go the other way.
That is often when, yes, you're right, the sentiment has become perhaps overly bullish, and I would be taking the opposite side of that action. So I think the time to have been bullish on the pound was back when, in fact, I remember when I was on this show back a few months ago, no, not a few months ago, back in February, January, and I remember saying insiders, the smart money was buying the British pound. That was the moment to have been extremely bullish on the pound. But now, if what you say is true, and a lot of folks out there are saying the pound is going to go to 140, that shows to me perhaps an over-bullishness sentiment in the pound. And no, I would be taking the opposite side of that. However, they may be right. I would say this, look, if the pound can maintain itself and continue this, if it can take out the highs it made about a few weeks, I think about a week ago it made a high right there. If we can get above that, then sure, yeah, we can make a move up to 132, maybe 133, and I would stay with that trend. But I personally doubt that. I think that we're reaching a turning point here in the pound. And let's see how that works out.
Alessio, brilliant stuff. Look forward to interviewing you next week for the next chapter in cable. I know which way I would be. Thank you very much indeed.